So on to the next topic. Joe, you apparently have seen The French Dispatch. Let me know, what did you think of that movie? Like, honestly, what did you honestly think? I know for me, I wasn't too big on it, but you got a chance to see it. What are your thoughts?
I'm not going to take up too much time because this is a solo review. The French Dispatch is the newest film from acclaimed filmmaker Wes Anderson, who's also done films like Moonrise Kingdom, The Royal Tenenbaums, and The Grand Budapest Hotel, if you've heard of any of them. And the film is basically an anthological collection of stories published in the final edition of an American newspaper located in a fictional 20th century French city. And again, just talking about that concept, I'm going to be honest, it's definitely pretty unique, and I do appreciate the film for going for something like this. Now, this is another film that, of course, was originally slated to be released last year, but got pushed back because of, surprise, surprise, COVID-19. And I'm going to say that after waiting a whole extra year in order to be able to watch this film, I can honestly say that I was not crazy about this film. And now here's the thing. I usually like, the whole sort of indie art house sort of film. So if you don't, then this film is definitely not for you. Another thing I will say that I usually like is Wes Anderson. I usually look forward to his films when they come out. I love The Grand Budapest Hotel. That movie is his magnum opus. That movie is his masterpiece. I also love his animated work. Isle of Dogs and Fantastic Mr. Fox are both excellent. And there's also another film, again, like I mentioned before, Royal Tenenbaums, came back a little further back, which is also a pretty solid movie too. One movie of his that I have seen before this one that I really did not like was Moonrise Kingdom. And unfortunately, The French Dispatch is closer to that one than any of Anderson's better work. But let me just get out of the way the stuff that I actually did like about The French Dispatch. And again, that was the film's craftsmanship, the whole artistic and technical end of everything going on with this film. One thing I will say, and again, this is definitely trademark Wes Anderson, is I love how he composes his shots. It feels very unique, and it's just, again, for lack of a better way to say it, it's just always, really pretty to look at. It always stands out. And another thing that I definitely appreciated was how, like, the visual cues and transitions with conveying certain details, I thought how he went about that in this film was really cool. I don't want to give too much of that away. Check it out for yourself. Again, another thing, too, is the film's production design. Everything from, like, the sets to the costumes and the makeup, all of these, plus the cinematography, helped immerse me in the world of the film. So on a technical, like I said, a technical and craftsmanship end of things, this film is very, very well made. Wes Anderson is obviously no stranger to making a well-made film. The French Dispatch is no exception in that department. Another thing that The French Dispatch is no exception to in comparison to other Wes Anderson films is the jam-packed cast with so many big names for me to really be able to list all of them. But again, of course, the cast includes regulars like Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Owen Wilson, and Frances McDormand, but also has a couple of newcomers like Jeffrey Wright, Henry Winkler, and of course, Timothee Chalamet. Now, between The French Dispatch and Dune coming out, I think it's safe to say that all the, Timothée Chalamaniacs out there are having a really good weekend. But now, again, I have to just get into really what sunk this movie for me. And I just couldn't connect emotionally to anything happening in the story. The film, in terms of the film's narrative, that end of things lost my attention within the first half hour. And really all I cared to look at was the pretty pictures. That's basically it. And the reason for that, the big reason for that, is because it was all just too quirky for my liking. And it was just to the point where it made me not care about any of the characters. Again, this is more so reflected in the dialogue. It tried too hard to be like, trademark, peculiar Wes Anderson characters and like the idiosyncratic word choice and just how they talk. It made it hard for me to not only follow along to much of the details that were thrown at me, but again, to just not care about these people. Again, maybe it's just me, and I just have a hard time, relating to that sort of person. But again, like I've seen a few of Wes Anderson's other films, and this sort of style that he has didn't bother me with those other films that I listed before that I really did enjoy. So I think it was just like an overload of Wes Anderson trying too much to be like Wes Anderson when he and his collaborators wrote this particular script. And this movie made me realize how much odd I can handle in a movie. Because like I always think that like, with how weird certain movies can be, people say like, oh, this movie's weird, that, and, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, oh, I don't have a problem with weird. I can handle weird. I can handle odd. And this movie made me realize just how much of that I can actually handle and how much of that is actually too much for me. And it's unfortunate because the strangeness in the storytelling of this film outweighed the craftsmanship of the film, which I honestly loved. Now, again, just from a movie-going point of view, this was honestly, I got to see this at the Alamo Drafthouse down in Brooklyn, and this is my first Alamo Drafthouse experience ever. I tried going once before, but the R train was taking its sweet time that day. I didn't get there on time, so therefore, I didn't get to go into the movie. And also, without embarrassing this particular person, I honestly did have some wonderful company with me. So, marrying both of those aspects of my movie-going experience with this film, I wouldn't change for the world. The only thing I would change about this experience is picking a different movie. So, that's just where I am as far as all this. So again, for all of you guys, what did you think of The French Dispatch? Is there something that I'm just not getting with this film, or is it really just a matter of taste? Let me know in whatever comment section you can.